Inside the Cave.
Inside the Cave podcast. Word up, B.
Hey, Charlemagne the God here, and I'm going inside the cave, right?
This is Deion Cole, I'm going inside the cave. Peace.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your favorite Play Cousin Junior, man, and I'm going inside the cave. I'm going to be in there. Just tune in. I'm in here.
Bad. It's just Leash. I'm going inside the cave. Where the fuck is the cave? But we in that bitch all day, every day. Check out the podcast. They doing big things. We out.
Hey, this is Rodney Perry, and I'm going inside the cave. And I hope I come out.
Thought-provoking ignorance since 2015.
All right, here we go. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Inside the Cave on Indie Central Radio and everywhere else you listen to us. All right, everybody check out the new Inside the Cave podcast.com. A couple blogs and stuff will be up there. Happy New Year to everybody. And go to Patreon/Inside the Cave and check us out. Subscribe to us there. It's going to cost a few dollars, but you can check out the show as we do it. You know when I say remind me to edit? Well, everything that I don't edit, you'll be able to see. All right? For everybody watching on Patreon, I am CB at I'm the Real CB. And who is this? Sid is in the building.
Yo, stop.
Me and Sid hung out on Christmas break. Sly, what's up, man?
What's going on? Happy New Year, everybody. Hope everything started out in a good, positive way.
The lovely, the beautiful, the talented Cats.
Happy New Year, everyone.
And the Cleves Report with Roland.
Pull the string. Pull the string.
Yeah, pull the string. Roland.
Hey, this is the tinfoil hat, man. What's going on? I heard Inside the Cave is popping.
Yeah,
What's good, people? I'm sorry I stepped away. I am back from a layoff, ready to turn the fuck up.
Man, all right, we got a lot going on. So later on in the show, what we're gonna do for Cat's Corner is I'm gonna just get rid of these random questions from 2018 that I keep forgetting to add. So like a rapid fire random Cat's Corner. And then everybody's talking about this R.Kelly stuff. I guess they just found out a couple weeks ago that R.Kelly likes little girls. So they had this documentary called Surviving R.Kelly. So I'm going to bring somebody who actually survived R.Kelly on, who knows a few of the women, and he's been open before. So we'll see how open he gets this week on Inside the Cave, the homie Boo. Later on in the show, a lot to talk about. Go to cavecrushshop.com. As a matter of fact, I think it's some new hoodies and stuff on there. I don't know what the promo code is and stuff, but also Big Dog is in the building. Happy New Year to the dog. Where the hell am I? All right, here we go. Everybody listen on Indie Central. We're gonna play. Listen on Indie Central. We're gonna play this video that Roland got popping, went viral on social media. We're gonna play Notorious B.I.G. Hypnotize and also BBD Run. Roland made a video. Ricky Bell liked it and shared it on his page. Started following us, so yeah, shout out to Ricky Bell. And also, anybody listening, you can go now and check out the first season of Last Night in Vegas. Go to vegaslastnight.com. That's the website, and I'm pretty sure by the time this show airs, it'll be on all the platforms we are on, except iHeart. It takes a while. We need 2,000 subscribers to get to iHeart. So everybody that's listening on Inside the Cave, go there and then start listening to Last Night in Vegas, so that we can get that show on iHeartRadio as well. All right. Everybody listen on Indie Central Radio. We'll be right back.
Win. Yeah.
Where are we at? Oh, here we go. Welcome back. We're starting off the show. It's 2019, so we're going to start it off You know you fucked up 2019 already. That's right. A lot of people that said they were going to the gym. A lot of people said they were going to eat right, going to be better. They done fucked it up already. So, Sly, let me get something ignorant out you, brother. You know you 2019 already. How?
You know you done fucked up 2019 already when you was spending money and later part of 2018 and your employer is the federal government.
Ooh, whoa. Oh, yeah, that's right. Government is shut down. Come on, Sid. What you got?
I don't know. That's fucked up.
I wasn't prepared for this shit. You just popped it up.
It's in the email.
No, it wasn't.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Maybe I didn't read all the email. My bad.
Yeah, I don't think you did. Come on,
all right, let me see.
Okay, go ahead.
You know you fucked up 2019 when your plan was to go to the gym and get right, but you sit in the parking lot eating McDonald's.
Yeah. And you know, I done been so bad one time. I said, I'm going to the gym. I went to the gym one time, bought a smoothie, and went right back into the car.
I went to the gym one time and didn't even make it inside the gym. I fell asleep in the car.
Oh, man. Come on, Kat, what you got?
You know you done fucked up if you done promised somebody some tax money for anything right now.
Oh, man. For real. Roland.
You know you done fucked up when
2019
when you did it big for Christmas and the credit card bill starts to roll in.
True that.
They come in about the 15th. You done fucked up.
Yeah, true that.
So that was yesterday.
Big dog, you got one?
Yeah, man. I think we all on the same line, man. You know you done fucked up in 2019 when you already going check to check.
Yeah.
You planning on
Oh, yes.
Yes, sir. You know you done fucked up 2019 already when you turn on the TV and you see your ex-wife, your underage side chick, and your other underage side chick, and your other underage side chick, your brother, your other brother, your ex-manager, and everybody else you ever did business with doing a documentary on your ass.
Damn.
Yeah, his 2019 fucked up.
Like, damn. Y'all can do that at the end of 2018?
Matter of fact, he gets the award already. 2019, grand opening, grand closing.
You know you done fucked up your 2019 when your spouse finds out where you really were via social media.
Yeah.
Later that week.
Already. What you got, Ro?
Oh, I'm stumped already.
What you got, Sid?
I'm gonna piggyback off Slide. You know you fucked up 2019 when your spouse found out where you was at over Christmas break. Via social media.
Right. Damn social media. Y'all gotta leave that social media alone. I'm telling you. Hey, shit. What you got, dog?
Damn. You know you done fucked up in 2019 when your side chick is pregnant.
Yes. Ooh, that's exactly when I was going.
When I had that one too, dog. When that pregnancy test come back positive.
I'm talking about, let me expand on that. You just told your wife on New Year's Eve, kissed her and said, I'm going to be a better husband, a better father, a better man to you. And on January 3rd, that bitch done told you she pregnant. You know she ain't lying. You know she ain't lying.
Hey, you know you fucked up in 2019 when Surviving R.Kelly got Michael Jackson rolling over in his grave.
I ain't lying. That nigga trying to get Mike, he ain't even here yet.
Right. Like,
man, they want Mike back.
Mike sitting in heaven like, what I got to do with this?
So they bringing up his old shit.
Like, damn,
I got one better for you.
What's that?
You know you done fucked up in 2019 when you was part of the R.Kelly documentary.
Yeah.
And then they dug up your old shit. Now you better get a documentary.
Surviving whoever next.
Man,
next.
Y'all seen public announcement putting out their own version of that shit?
Oh,
Next.
come on, man.
Everybody piggybacking off that. Boy.
Everybody want to be a star.
You know you fucked up your 2019 when you bought your spouse and your side piece the exact same gift for Christmas, but you gave them the opposite sizes. Who the fuck wear this size? You know goddamn well I don't wear this.
Say when your wife's at 18 and your side chick's at 6,
right?
You know you done fucked up.
What the fuck you buying this shit for? I know damn well you know my size. What the fuck you? No,
When your wife's at 18 and your side chicks are 6, yeah,
you done
messed
fucked
up bad, brother.
Yeah, you done fucked up big time.
But you know you done messed up. I didn't forget it. Fucking with Sly shit. Oh no, I got it. I caught it. You know you didn't fucked up in 2019 when you sign a huge ass deal with Netflix, have a New Year's Eve stand up, and the shit fall flat.
Oh, who you talking about, bro? Who you talking about?
Tiffany Haddish.
Gotta get some Haddish on that Tiffany.
You know you done fucked up. 2019 ain't gonna be a good year for you, sis.
Hell no.
Yeah. Anybody else got one?
You know you done fucked up when that role you've been trying to get all year, and Lee Daniel announces he coming out with the first gay superhero.
Name Super Bitch.
His superhero named Sugar.
Super Bitch.
You've been studying all year. You got your blade moves down and everything. And you worry 19.
The gay superhero gonna have nunchucks with dildos on his hands.
Go-to move is gonna be a backhand slap.
Oh man. You know you done fucked up. You know you done fucked up when you a white dude driving down the street with your music blasted. Cops pull you over and you think that white privilege gonna work, and he tase your ass anyway.
Your 2019 gonna be super fucked up.
For real. Oh man. All right, that was good. Welcome back. We are back. 2019 edition Inside K. We're gonna have a great year. I got a feeling we're just gonna be a great ass year by the looks of things. Don't forget we got Boo calling in, and also rapid fire random Cats Corners from 2018.
But it ain't
all right, here we go. This is Around
bitch.
the Cave. Kill yourself and start over. 0 to 100.
Had a long week? Need to get some stuff off your chest? Do it now! Let's go 0 to 100 real quick.
Real fucking quick, nigga. 0 to 100, nigga, real quick.
Whatever we got, we've been gone for a month. So I know everybody got a lot to talk about. What we talking about? Kat, let's go, Kat. What you got on your mind, Kat?
Kat, what you got?
I guess what's on my mind is, you know, we were talking about R.Kelly, and I do want to put like some clarity out there for some guys. You know, there is one thing to meet a young lady, and you're an older gentleman, and you meet her, and I have to say that, guys, it is very tough because these young ladies are not coming with their birth certificates pinned to their shirts. But there are some, you know, very shapely, very beautiful. I will put it this way, there are very beautiful young women out there. But the thing we have to remember is about mental capacity, where this person is mentally. So there's a difference between or falling in love or admiring a young woman. That's totally natural. You're a man, and science and DNA and your body synapses say when the blood starts pumping in your heart, it goes to your penis. Like, that's just the way it is. And so it's not your fault, that is nature. And some of these young ladies, yes, they are out here. I think most men can attest to being a 20-year-old or 21-year-old and meeting a 15-year-old, and she's gorgeous, she's intelligent, she's all the criteria you would love in a woman. She's just too young. So I feel for you guys, but where we cross the line is when mental manipulation starts. When a young woman now has to lie to be with you. When she has to tell her parents or the guardians that she has lies in order to be with you. That's where the problem is. The problem starts to get there when it's not okay with everybody. It's totally different if you're 21 and she's 17 and you guys have been dating and her parents know you and her parents know your parents. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about someone who wants to manipulate and separate a mind that is not yet developed. And I want to, give guys permission. It's totally, you're not a monster if you look at a chick and think she's gorgeous and then find out she's 16. You're not a monster. There's nothing wrong with you. There is something wrong with someone who has to make a young mind lie or cheat or be secret or start to abuse mentally or physically or manipulate. That is the problem. So I just want to clear it up. So, it's not that we're victim blaming. What we're doing is we're identifying the players. And to make it clear that, yes, there are beautiful women that mentally should not see your dick. You don't have to have sex with every woman, and you want to be leery of those mentally not prepared for the dick you got to offer her. So, I'm just putting it out there.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Real quick, since this is the man cave, just real quick. Everybody give for all the guys that have a problem with what Kat is saying. Real quick, let's give something that how you know things that signs when a girl is too young for you. When you know she, even though she might look 18 or 21, whatever. Good job, vote your vote. Signs where she might be too young. Real quick, go ahead, Sly.
If she doesn't have her own purse.
That's bullshit because they be giving 3-year-olds purses, man.
No. If you see a young lady walking and she ain't got no bag and she ain't got no purse and it's just a backpack, she too young. Period. Period.
Bro, rap real quick, bro. What you got?
Yeah, that's some bullshit. If her teeth is small, she too young.
If she still got started,
if her teeth barely come past her gums,
damn,
she's too young.
She got started earrings in her ear. She's
Come on, Sid. Sid, give me one, Sid. Come on.
I don't care how old she is. If she ain't on her own, she too young.
Right? Yeah.
She ain't got her own. What Jimmy Fox say? She got her own.
And like all these things you guys are talking about, like I have to say, my son's dad is older than I am. And if there was never, ever an instance of anybody going, oh, wait, how old is he? And how, like, no one ever questioned our relationship as goes for age, because I was pretty mature. And we had a relationship. It wasn't like, and I want to, I guess I just want to make it clear, because there seems to be a lot of people defending R.Kelly when really it's not a situation of defending or not. It's an issue of you can forgive yourself for liking that 16-year-old or having a crush on that 15-year-old. Like, it's totally okay. They're gorgeous. I mean, I completely get it. It's tough out here for guys, but at the same time, it becomes a problem when now this young lady has to lie about her age, or you have to lie about your age. Like, when we start manipulating is when it becomes a problem.
See that's a slippery slope.
Hey, so let me ask one question, Sly. Ro, before we get into all this. So are we just gonna go ahead and dive into this R.Kelly thing, or we gonna? Well,
go ahead. I don't care.
I mean, because it seems like that's where we're going anyway, right?
I tried to shut the fuck up and let her. She's supposed to be around the cave.
With all the stuff that's been,
what she had to say, and we was going to shut up and move on.
With all the stuff that's happened in the last 3-4 weeks, it's weird that this one thing is bigger than everything that's done happened.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. But
I mean, it opens up a can of worms that need to be opened, though. I mean, this ain't really about. This is bigger than R.Kelly. There's an issue. And while I respect the lady of the show, I just think that I think that the problem isn't. I met a chick, she's younger. I met her on some grown-up shit, and then I find out she's younger than what I thought she was. I'm talking about when a predator looks at a 16-year-old and wants it to be a 16-year-old. Like that's what I'm talking about.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, Roland.
Okay.
There is totally a difference between someone who looks at a person and says, oh, she's amazing, and then finds out she's younger and still says, hey, you know what, I still want to get to know you. And they have a respectable courtship. Like, I'm not saying ageism. I'm not going ageism. I'm going with the monster.
The mental. You going with the mental, Cat?
Right. I'm going with the monsters, the people who say she has to be this. This is what turns me on. And one thing that we
that's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
One thing that we all can agree that they all have in common is they were broken girls to begin with. And so it's like he had a pattern, a certain type. And it's that is what, you know, I don't give a shit if you want to listen to R.Kelly's music. I don't care. I still watch the Cosby Show reruns. Like, nobody, you have to separate the artist and their art. Like, these are two different beings here. He's R.Kelly to you, but he's his mama's son of Robert. Like, we have to understand that this is his job. And just like at your job, you put on a face, his job is a face. And I think a slap to everybody is that all of the content he has is sexual in nature as well. Like, almost a cry for help in a sense.
Well, Kat, what's funny about that is the people who, and I don't know how anybody feels on this show, so I'm not, no shots fired, but it's amazing how a lot of the people who are on this high horse about, I'm not listening to R.Kelly's music for what he did, and it's like, there's 100 other reasons why you shouldn't have been listening to R.Kelly's music. Because it's sexually explicit. How about that, Mrs. Christian, Mr. Christian? You know what I'm saying? Like, get out of here with this high moral standard, because now we find out, or now they made a docu-series about the exploits of what R. Kelly
Wait a
did.
minute, so what you're saying is Christians can't listen to R. Kelly. What if they marry and they want to listen to that?
I mean, I don't want to get, that's not where we're going. We're not getting into moral understanding. I mean, I understand and I respect what he's saying, that you should have your morals and your standards. I'm not going there, because
no, I'm not saying, I'm not trying to hold him to a standard.
The facts remain that he is a deviant. He is a predator, and that those are the facts. Like, it doesn't matter if you like his music or not. At the end of the day, he has a problem, and this problem has hurt and affected. Now we're like on second generation young girls at this point. Like, now we're getting to the fact that, you know, relatives of abused people are being abused. Like, that's what we want to clarify for people who say it's okay. You can still listen to his music because you're not listening to him, the predator behind closed doors. You're listening to his art, and many artists are crazy.
Yeah, but if you listen to those lyrics, some of those artistic lyrics sound extremely predatory and suggestive.
Many of the movies you enjoy are extremely predatory. You know, it's
and then I won't watch those movies. So I mean,
but then you have to look at,
because then that would make it too deep. Then you'd have to look at your pastor. You'd have to look at your grandfather.
And you should.
Like,
what's wrong with that?
Like, you have to, and I think that's the good part about this whole thing coming out, is that now we can maybe introduce the topic, as I have with my daughter, about consent. You know, it's like, do you know who R. Kelly is? She's like, I don't know who R. Kelly is. And I explained, like,
hey,
okay.
But check this out, Kat. See, well, here's the thing. Everybody is making this just about R. Kelly. I think across the board, everybody feel like it was fucked up for some of the stuff that he's been accused of doing, right? I don't think there's anybody really defending him. But it seems like the problem is when people start peeling back the layers of the shit that goes on, the first thing somebody want to take it as if you're trying to defend R. Kelly. And that's not it. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Totally. I mean, it's so many people that plays a role in this type of behavior, period. You know, so if people want to solve the problem about young girls and older guys,
good luck.
I'm scared for
right.
real.
I don't think, but that's not the problem. That's again, that's why I think while it is untimely for his career, it is a great time to reintroduce this discussion. We're not putting it on him, but we're giving it a face. You know how like Stranger Danger, we don't know what he looks like, but he has a face. Like we're able to say like, well, here's an instance. Here's an instance where, you know, unfortunately, a person who many people trusted, many people respected, is now, you know, under the scrutiny.
Yeah, but it just seemed like we go extra hard at holding our own people accountable when we.
Well, the wrong people. You're damn right. The wrong people. It is not R.Kelly. It is the Facebook silhouette head of everybody who participates in that behavior. You're very right.
And I think that is fair where said that cut off, where he said that he's willing to hold everybody accountable. And that's where the hypocrisy comes in, said you're a stand-up dude and you're saying, yeah, let's look at everything. But that's not what's happening across the board. Everybody wants to point the finger at R.Kelly, but they're not willing to look at all the musicians. You can't just point at one artist and say, oh, I don't want to listen to him. And listen, you can have a personal preference. If you choose not to do it, that's on you. But what's happening is they're on their high horse trying to pass judgment on music when they're not passing judgment on the other music, on the movie stars, on all the other shit in their life. That's hypocrisy. What about your pastor? What about the gym teacher? Nobody's looking in their past and what the fuck they done. So you want to look at R.Kelly and then say, you want to judge other people by the music that they listen to?
People not even looking in their own family, bro.
Exactly, man. A lot of the celebrities that have spoken out have already been exposed for doing similar acts. You know what I'm saying?
That's why Jay-Z ain't saying shit.
Times are different now. I mean, hell, at one time, the majority of us, our grandfather was like X number of years older than our grandmother.
Right.
You know, but times are different now, so I guess everybody's so-called woke to where they kind of viewing the world differently. But
is it really woke? Why wasn't anybody questioning then? It didn't make it right then.
I mean, I ain't just saying woke. I'm just using that as a reference.
But here's the thing, though. I disagree with you, said. There's a lot of people who did question it.
Right.
Statutory rape ain't something new. They've been charging motherfuckers with that. And
But you know what though? If they're gonna put a face on it and use R.Kelly for the face, address the real problem.
But we're not going to do that.
The same way you got them little boys out there that's slanging in the streets and their parents find out about it. If they bring money home and help pay the bills and put food on the table,
ain't saying
the
shit.
mothers, they let them go.
Absolutely.
So those same parents, when their kids get around these celebrities and they're trying to get into Hollywood, they already know their daughters are too fucking young to be in that circle. And they let them go. They pimping out their own kids.
Yeah.
You need to tell me after
I have to defend some of the victims. It was not like that for many of the victims. It was not a thing of this secret affair. And I'm speaking as somebody who had, my encounter with R.Kelly was purely musical. My mother knew where I was. My mother knew what was going on. I told her, my friend, a good friend of mine knows R.Kelly, and he's going to give me a chance to sing for him. My mom gave me her blessing. Yeah, she never thought that I was going to go in the presence. And again, I do want to bring it back to the point that we're talking about. We're not talking about statutory rape. We are talking about monsters. We are talking about abusers. And that's what I want to make clear.
If this documentary came out back then, do you think your mother would give you her blessings?
No. Okay, well, let me ask you this.
But because that is the face. But because it has a face.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. CB, go ahead.
I just want to know, it took a documentary for everybody to feel this way. What about him marrying a 15-year-old? That's why I say everybody phony. That's why everybody say everybody phony.
Everybody talked about it back then.
They was on fucking BET.
So if the man married a 15-year-old and you still decide to hang with him, sorry, that's a you problem. You was okay with him. Right. So don't give me that shit now.
And I think that's very judgmental, because again, I didn't. And to be very fair and honest, like nothing ever happened. He never touched me or came at me in any sexual way. But again, my encounter was a brief. Hey, I was 17.
You was too old.
And
no, she wasn't.
And again, you know, I'm not his type in a sense of I have a mind. Like I wasn't hurt in that sense. I already had a musical career. I had a career.
I understand that, but why would anyone, after this man married a 15-year-old?
Because I'm not going to marry him.
Okay. But why would you go around a monster?
I'm trying to get, but he wasn't a monster to me, and this is what I'm saying. If I knew then what I know now at 17, my brain wasn't thinking for the cause.
He married
my
a 15-year-old.
brain was thinking for my career, and just like, and again, what we're not talking about are the RKellys. Are most of the men that you know lost their virginity to a babysitter. Like I'm talking about the actual abuse part, y'all. I'm not talking about some girl who was goofy. I'm talking about a predator. You come across goofy girls every day.
That's a predator.
Listen to what I'm saying. You come across goofy girls every day. You personally probably passed several, and you looked at her and she looked at you and she was all of 14, but you did not act on it. I'm talking about the people who act on it.
That's what we're talking about. He acted on it.
Okay, never mind. You guys are, I want to make it clear that in my
high schools, what are you missing?
Again, in my opinion, it is very possible. And while it didn't happen to me, I could relate how it could happen to somebody else. And I feel, again, you're misinterpreting the fact that we're not talking about someone who thinks like you, Roland. He doesn't have the mental capacity like you.
He was a grown-ass adult.
Right, the way you're rationalizing it in your head is not the way he's rationalizing it in his. And so where your language would stop because you know this is wrong, his didn't. And there were some people who took the bait.
I don't think anybody disagreed with you. I mean, we said that from the beginning.
No, I disagree. Let me ask y'all a question. Hold on. Let me ask one question. Would y'all let y'all daughter go meet O.J. Simpson?
Motherfucking no.
Oh, okay.
It's not even about it being a celebrity.
That's the juice. You know how many touchdowns he scored? How many yards he ran for?
You won't let your daughter go meet O.J. Simpson. Why would you let your daughter go hang out with R.Kelly?
Man, I don't care what name you implant in there. If the nigga's 10 years older than my daughter, he's getting fucked up on sight. That's on my mother. Right. And I got a 19-year-old.
Hey man, let me say this.
Fuck a 35-year-old man up and became their my daughter.
And that's what I'm talking about, Ro. See, and that's what I said.
I don't give a fuck what he do.
See, Kat, and this is what I said earlier.
That's your motherfucking mind.
This is what I want to talk about.
When they did that interview on BET with Aaliyah, and
somebody should have said something.
They asked about their relationship status. You mean to tell me the parents wasn't paying attention?
They knew. They
didn't. How does Big Laz even ask that fucking question? She's a minor. How do you ask that on a public television show?
Yeah, everybody want to pass the plane.
That proves that the culture at that time was different.
And I also need to bring to your attention, like at this point, Roland is upset. This is why many girls can't talk about it. The tone of this conversation went so wrong so quickly.
No, but Kat, it's the problem. You need men in your life, and other girls need men. And let me say something right now. I got a problem with the pussy ass fathers. The fathers talking about they know where their daughter is at, but they can't get to him. I'm not even the toughest guy in the world. But do you know how many vice lords would be at the chocolate factory? Yeah, I get the fact the police said we can't do nothing because she's an adult or whatever like that. Okay, we done handled it the legal way.
See, are you doing business with him at some point in your career?
I don't, and I accepted that, and I don't have a problem with R.Kelly. Y'all do. Y'all want to have.
I do want to make it clear. that not everybody went to R.Kelly blindly. Some people went with a goal in mind. Even some of those young ladies. You had a goal in mind. You knew about his past, yet
I don't have a problem with his past.
Business with him. So it's just very funny how this conversation took off. And all I'm trying to say is there are people who hurt people. Those people are the one where we're not even going to say the name. If you're a man and you're mentally manipulating and seeking out young girls to groom, that's the problem. It's not the girls.
What's the age of consent?
They're teenagers.
What's the age?
All I'm trying to do, I want to make it clear, you all don't have to carry his cross either.
What is it? What's the age of consent?
17.
Different by state, bro.
Okay,
yeah, I think out here in Illinois is 17.
Hey,
average is 17.
Other than R.Kelly, anybody else got something else to talk about other than R.Kelly?
I didn't say.
I gotta
anything.
answer a question.
I just want to say something, bro. I just with Kat and what all of y'all are saying, I think it's just saying that this grown man then and grown man now still doesn't carry the mental capacity to understand that what he's still doing is wrong. He only identifies with people that may have a high school equivalent of a high school IQ.
So why would you let your daughter go around him then?
Are y'all saying that he don't know what he's doing is wrong?
I'm saying he needs. I'm saying Joe, he needs more of an intervention.
Would you let your underage sister go around him? If that's the way you feel about him?
No, absolutely, because I was an overprotective brother.
Exactly.
So that's not gonna happen.
Any parent that let their kid go around R.Kelly after he married Aaliyah, that's a you problem. And I don't want to hear that on victim blaming. It's a you problem because he married a 15-year-old and you.
Doesn't your daughter do modeling?
Huh?
You mean to tell me you background check every photographer,
but I'm there with
agent,
her the whole time.
You background check everybody and this is the point I'm trying to make.
The whole time.
You don't know what monster.
I'm not dropping
You
my
can be
daughter
there, and
I'm not dropping.
And to take that point even further, my friend's mother was there as well. Her mother and her aunt were there as well.
I'm talking about dads.
Hey, y'all gotta somebody gotta let somebody talk, though. Somebody gotta let somebody talk.
This was not 11 o'clock at night.
Okay.
This was not in some seedy hotel. This was at a reputable studio, which I had already recorded at before. This was a professional event. So again, if you're I want to make it. I just want to bring to your attention that no, CB, you are not background checking your daughter's agents.
No,
you are not sitting down with every child that goes to that event. Now, you can be there all day, but what makes them a deviant, the reason why that's a problem is because they can do it under parents' noses. They are monsters in that sense. You don't have the capacity to understand that because you're not like that.
No,
but somebody who is a deviant,
nobody's gonna do
they
that
are.
to my
Now,
daughter.
your reaction is totally normal. How you feel is totally normal.
Joe,
but I also don't want
like
your
anger. Joe,
I don't want your anger to blind you when your daughter tells you the most unlikely character is the one who's
because
bothering
you're a
her.
woman and women are gullible to bullshit. You're saying that because you're a woman
That's
and
exactly
women
what
are
I'm
gullible.
saying, and I also want you to, CB, I want you to recognize what I'm saying. Don't disregard me, because what I say, as a possible victim, every day of my life, every day a woman leaves her house, she is a victim. So as a victim, I will say, respect what I'm saying. Don't talk over me and don't try to downplay how I feel, because I am speaking for many women and they just want to be heard without ridicule, without somebody judging them.
They also
want to be able to. Many of them do, but there are some who don't. And even the ones who want to be famous do not deserve to be treated in that manner.
Would you go around Bill Cosby?
This whole generation of females pretty much are fucked up. If you go on social media right now, half of them on there half-ass naked, and they doing whatever they can for a little piece of fame.
Just to get famous.
Which is why I implore all of you level-headed men, instead of putting cave crushes up, put women who are fully dressed up. You are perpetuating it. You are giving it a platform when you do that.
You made a good point there, Kat.
Yeah, so he basically when you're doing that, you ain't doing nothing but help fuck up the women even more.
It already fucked up.
They made a choice. And the key word is woman. All right? The key word is woman. And the other key word is men. If men is in the... These are real men in here. Real men. The moment that our daughters say, hey, I got a chance to go meet R.Kelly, all the men in here gonna be like, nah, you ain't going. I don't care if you're 17. I don't care if you're 18. I don't care if you're 19. I don't care if you're 20.
But unfortunately,
not letting you go.
Anybody, if she says, I'm going to meet Bishop T.D. Jakes, you still have to be like, no.
You ain't going unless I'm with you.
This is what I'm saying. Like, you can't put R.Kelly as the face. I think is what Big Dog was trying.
Y'all brought up R.Kelly. I'm talking
it's
about.
It's not him. It's anybody.
Okay, my daughter's not going by herself. My daughter's not going by herself.
I think just people allow for too much trust amongst other people. I told my brother flat out, I ain't paid to trust nobody. That ain't my job.
Right.
Fuck your trust. That's not what I do. I act on the best interest of my daughter and my son at all times. We keep talking about women. Niggas is touching boys. Nigga, my son can't be alone with you. No. Nigga, my kids can't be alone with you.
And a real man.
Would you tell it? Would you tell it? Our boys are more in danger than anybody.
You told CB don't talk over you. So, the thing is too, the problem is that you can't be everywhere all the time. You could let your daughter, your son, whoever, go by their best friend's house. I don't know the traffic at that house. You could have a perverted uncle who stay in the basement that I don't know. You could leave out of that house and go somewhere that I don't know. When we drop our kids off, we are taking a gamble at any and every time. Even I ain't background checking my daughter's friends' parents. I don't know if they daddy been accused of something before, or they mother. Women touching girls. The best thing in everything and everybody is different. Is to hope and pray that your children trust you enough to protect them till something happens. They come.
Yeah, they come and talk to you. That's what you got to beat in their heads, boys and girls.
I had to handle.
You can teach them. You can teach them to say something. You can teach them about boundaries. You can teach them not to fear the predator. That lady is going to say, don't tell nobody, I'm going to kill your mama and daddy. And they already feel guilty. So, I mean, you can teach them how. You can teach them to tell. Like, I don't want to just leave it on the girls or say, little boys, you have to defend yourself, but you can definitely teach them and have an open dialogue with a calm attitude and explain that, yeah, sex is awesome. Sex is fantastic, but there is a time, there's an age, there's a place, there's a way you should do it. You should talk to your kids about what good sex is and sex they shouldn't want.
Anybody else got anything other than R.Kelly?
No, that's the end of the show. Go ahead and take us out, dog.
All right, I want to help the government workers. There's a lot of stuff about these government workers that's they're talking about. They're about to lose their car. They're about to lose their house and all that kind of stuff. Look, I ain't never been poor, but thanks to living with Sid, I learned how to get by. So I want to give some tips to government workers that might be thinking they're gonna lose some stuff. Here's some tips you can do. Now I understand you ain't got paid in about 4 weeks. All right, that doesn't mean you can't eat. All right, this is what you do. You go to McDonald's. All right, there's 2 windows. There's the ordering window, then there's the pickup window. You bypass that line in lunchroom and at the lunchtime, and you go right to the pickup window and pick up whatever that person that ordered behind you and paid. That's your order. You take that and go ahead. So you can still eat even though you ain't making no money. Another thing, in most cities, right, this is the winter time. You don't have to worry about paying your electricity bill, or I should say your electricity and heat bill, because they can't kick you out. It's the winter time. Between October and April,
right,
they cannot kick you out. They cannot turn your heat off.
They can't turn your shit off.
They cannot turn your shit off. And if they try to, say that you got a baby in the house, they definitely can't turn your shit off. Now this don't apply to anybody that's renting from me. Just want to put that out there.
Son of a bitch.
So, now, as far as your car note, I understand people are having a hard time paying their car note. Here's what you do, okay? Go online and change the address of where you live and change the address of where you work. First of all, it takes about 90 days of no payments for them to repossess your car anyway. But just in case you already there, change the address of where you work and where you live. So when they come,
when they ain't gonna come back to them places that they already know.
When they come to repossess your car, then you. And the other thing you could do, go get a paint job. If you ain't got no money to get a paint job, paint it yourself. Get some pans, get some cans of paint, paint your car. I got any other tips to help people get through this?
Paint your car like your VIN number ain't in the window.
Right. When all this shit fail, you come find C to the B.
Right.
I just want to help these people out, man.
Well, after you to steal somebody's food and they got your ass on camera and they come chase your ass down.
Here's what you do. Go to Walmart, go to the grocery store. You can get some grapes, you can get some oranges.
And you can walk through the store and eat, right?
Yep. You get a protein bar, get some.
Oh, that's a good. I don't know who need to hear this, but eating grapes in the store is still a motherfucker.
Well, if you get caught.
It's taste testing. That's sampling roll. That's sampling roll.
You walk through the store, get you 2 pieces of bread, open up some meat, slap it on that bread, and keep it moving.
Keep it walking.
You can't even eat the grapes and pay for them because it's a different weight when you get there.
You can ask for samples, like you can sample some sushi, sample some lunch meat.
Sample some sushi.
You know, they be making a little packages of sushi. Get you some sushi, some lunch meat samples, and make your way through.
But let me help somebody right now. Real talk. Let me help somebody. Aside from CB's foolishness, let me take this time to really help somebody get their shit together. It's the beginning of the year. You thought you had taxes coming up, but what you can do is sit down with your wife or your significant other and your children, and you can start to trim the fat. See, people, the biggest reason why people live check to check is because we have too many expenditures. I understand you think you need the top of the line cell phone. I know you think you need the RecTV with the NFL package, but nigga, you broke, okay? We need you to make better decisions with your finances, and maybe you can get out this fucking hole. And then at the end of the day, when that tax return come, you can either do it one or two ways. You can open up an LLC, or you can find your neighborhood dope boy and get you a package.
Or you could tell
flip that shit.
Or you could tell your significant other to get back on her knees.
I ain't giving up. I ain't giving up club night, bro. I ain't giving up ladies free before 10. I'm in there.
Before we move on, let me clear something up. Cat, it ain't personal. I want you to think what I was saying earlier is personal. I just like to hold men and people accountable. That's all it was. It's nothing to do with you. I just want to let you just put that out there. Remind me to edit.
Oh shit! I'm about to listen to the replay. I stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, I think Kat thought I was talking to her. I wasn't talking at her. I was just.
I know whatever Kat eating, she fucking it up. That's all I know.
I just wanted to put that out there. All right.
I'm coming to Kat's house.
Here we go. This is Kat's Corner. I lost it. Where the fuck?
We just gonna skip over the 0 to 100, huh?
I take up all that time.
No, you stopped. You took a pause for the R.Kelly stuff.
Damn, I just popped on, man. I want to say something about R.Kelly.
You just said something about R.Kelly.
Did y'all have anything else other than R.Kelly? Go ahead.
So what is 0 to 100, right?
Yes, it's all of it. 0 to 100. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. What you got?
I gotta talk about a lot of shit, but since this 0 to 100, I got 60 seconds. Oh, this ain't around the cave?
Nigga, just get to it.
Yeah, god damn.
Thanks, dog. Shit.
This is around the cave in 60 seconds.
I ain't rush. I didn't rush none of y'all. I didn't rush none of y'all, man. I ain't rush none of y'all.
Nigga got a new iPad, don't know how to fucking act. Get your shit together.
So first thing I want to talk about said the sports report and them damn Bears. Damn, that boy missed that field goal. Shit, that's fucked up, man.
Exactly.
That was really fucked up. What's even more fucked up is that the Bears stepchild, Alshon Jeffrey, damn, he missed that catch. Damn, that boy missed that catch. Boy. That boy fucked up. That boy, the Bears fans, I don't know who was worse, the Bears fans or the Eagles fans. Everybody had shitty favorites, but we wanted them to lose, but damn, we didn't want them to lose like that. That was fucked up. That was really, really fucked up.
Didn't want who to lose like what?
Like
I was tweeting Alshon Jeffrey all night. Like the memes and everything.
He was about to start crying in his coach's head. That boy was sick. What else? I gotta kill yourself and start over for I'm gonna wait for that one. But the government shutdown definitely needs a 0 to 100, because I was thinking, like, at what point does the economy start to suffer when all of these agencies, they keep saying 800,000 employees, but when you think about all the agencies, like, you really still haven't touched on every type of federal agency there is that we use every day. And it was just today that the Coast Guard got a message from their general that they're not getting paid for the first time in ever. And
First time in ever.
It's in ever. Like, and one of the guys said he had to take, active Coast Guard member said he had to take out a loan because he has a baby. And where does he take a loan out from? The federal government. Duh. And you can't pay it back. The shit is crazy, man. So when does that start?
It's a scam, Sly. The government ain't shut down. These motherfuckers is just.
But when does it start to affect the economy? And when I say the economy, I'm talking about like the stock market. Like, when does that shit start to tumble? Start to go the other way, bro? Because if people,
that's about my pay grade, brother.
Like at some point, this shit gonna tumble. Like, the shit is gonna tumble because people are not making money to spend money. Right. You know, so you're even the people that are working are less likely to spend money. It's gonna start taking that effect. My kill yourself. Reset and kill yourself and start over for this one right here goes to no other than CB.
C to the B.
C to the B. You want to know why? Because since Christmas break, we've been on CBT. That's Courtney Blackman time, right? Christmas Day, I get a brand new, as Rose said, I get a brand new iPad mini. And for the last 365 days plus months.
Hold on. Pause. You ain't have to say mini, bro. Hold that to yourself.
Hey, whatever, man. That's the name of it, man. So, since I've been on the show, I've been inquiring from Ro and CB, what type of electrical technical device do I need to make the voice sound better that could be compatible? So they tell me they using Apple. So what? I get an iPad. And when I get this iPad, I log in. I only use it for this one particular thing. And who I hit up? I hit up Mr. C to the B. And when are we recording? Oh, we not recording today? No, next week. Damn, I got this iPad. I really want to use it. I only got it for the show. I love your enthusiasm, brother. But next week. So then next week comes.
Hey, is this 0 to 100 or 0 to a million? I'm ready for you to shut the fuck up now.
Hey, look, hey man, keep in mind I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit, said. So CB says the next week.
Don't you got a federal job?
Hey man, my shit's state, and I ain't furloughed. You know what I'm saying?
Go sell crack, man.
And
he already selling.
This the first.
He already selling that.
This the first time. This is the first time I'm using my iPad since Christmas, and I'm kind of happy and disappointed at the same time.
It's gonna be your last when they turn your Wi-Fi off.
CB, I seen one of them trucks that you make when I was in Florida, and I opened up the door, and it was a smiley face on that motherfucker too. So I knew not to test drive that bitch.
By the way, speaking of government shutdown, there's two people who I don't ever want to hear the W-2 joke from again, and that is Mr. Roland Slade and Catherine. I do not know Cat's last name.
Fire.
That's good. You don't need to know my last name.
Okay.
You ain't gonna say nothing, no way. You the most janky boss.
I ain't no boss. First of all, I ain't no boss. That's the problem.
Janky promoter. Fuck it.
At the end of the day, you are the one who sends out all the information. So you a janky secretary then, because every time paperwork come out, a bitch can't get no real. Ain't nothing on letterhead in this bitch. You feel me?
Hey, look, I got something for all the people that's on shutdown, all the federal employees, especially the ones that work at the airport.
Yeah.
There's no TSA agent. Go down to Mexico, Colombia, get you some weight, some weed or something, and come back on the airplane with it. Ain't nobody there to check it.
Yeah. Remember Joe Dirt told you to do
No,
that.
FDA either. So if you got like a goat farm and you want to come up, this is a great time to do it.
Hey, bring some goats up. I mean, shit.
There's no FDA checking.
Right on the
your
plane.
poultry, your eggs, your milk, all of your dairy.
You know what government shutdown just did? Make sure y'all ain't doing no fucking, cause all the condoms may break. They ain't getting checked. Nobody checking condoms.
There's a lot of what is that? Link, Snap, or whatever. All that stuff's supposed to stop in February.
All right, let's move on, man, because we got Boo calling in a second. Let's go to Cat's Corner.
Got a problem? Need some advice? Send your questions and problems to Cat for Cat's Corner on Inside the Cave.
What Boo gonna talk about?
Surviving R.Kelly. Go figure.
R.Kelly, huh?
Yeah, go figure.
Well, yeah.
He got out.
We'll find out. All right, here we go. This is Cat's Corner, Inside the Cave Podcast at gmail.com. And I'm going to start posting these Cat's Corners on our other Instagram page and InsideTheCavePodcast.com, as well as Inside the Cave Podcast on Instagram. Here we go. This is from Brianna. Do you think, Kat, men deserve to have a grace period at the start of marriage for faithfulness? Or do you think once he says, I do, he needs to change his ways instantly?
I think if faithfulness is something that you're interested in from a mate, they should be faithful before you marry them.
I think he's talking about, like, should he get rid of his porn collection right away, or is it a grace period to phase some of that shit out? That's
what's the question one more time? I think that's the question about should you have a grace period with cheating when you get married?
Do you think men deserve to have a grace period at the start of marriage for faithfulness? Or do you think once he says, I do, he needs to change his ways instantly? Brianne.
That's a stupid nigga, Joe. That's a real dumb, that's a sloppy nigga who ain't got no type of organization about himself. Listen, think about this. You mean to tell me you with the woman, right? So you probably, if you ask this question, you already been fucking around. That's cool. You know, yeah.
This is from a woman, bro.
This the woman asking the question.
It's a woman asking the question, said.
If you doing that, then the nigga already been fucking with you. If you already cheat on him, think about it. Either way, from the minute he asks you to marry him, or if it's a guy, you ask him to marry the woman, you already know there's gonna be a deadline. All right, right then and there, you need to know. Let me go ahead and get my cheat off. You know you're gonna ask. You have to have time to get the money if you ain't got to get the ring. You get the ring, you ask the question, and then you set the date. That's probably about 1.5 years, 2 years of free cheating and fucking. And you mean to tell me you gonna get married and still need another year? You a thirsty motherfucker.
Some people get married quicker than that, said.
Oh, then you already set up for disaster.
But what also said, I think what she's saying is, okay, let's just say you say I do. Let's say you say I do, but you still got a couple of bros that they really ain't realize that you for real, that you not like I'm off limits. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like phone calls might still be coming in, like, you know, all that kind of shit. I kind of feel what she's saying. Grace period. Yeah.
I know you feel what she's saying.
No, you don't. You don't know that I feel nothing.
And define cheating. She got to define cheating because they see a text message. They see a text message that's cheating. Somebody slide in your DM. That's cheating. Yeah. Like I said, they find your porn collection in the public storage behind a bunch of fucking boxes. Like, bitch, what you being so nosy for? That's cheating.
Let's say
if you got a box full of tapes in 2019, something wrong with you.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
What you watch?
It don't matter. It said it could be a bunch of old cell phones that got porn on. It don't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. Define cheating in that context.
Slide. Here's the thing. The way normal people do it is, if you meet someone, man meets woman, normally year to 2 years is usually a time if people are grown up and want to be in a long-term relationship with someone.
Bro, it ain't natural for a man to be with one woman.
Can I finish? So he's made a decision that he wants to be with her exclusively in that 1 to 2 year period. Ooh. In my mind, once you decide that you're serious with someone, then all other contact with any woman, or for the woman, any man, should cease. So this woman is asking an asinine question because if they walk down the aisle, that grace period should have been ended months before.
See, all of y'all answering this. Y'all answering this completely wrong. Because this is a woman that asked this question, and we already know that women are very deceitful. Kat can agree with that if she wants to, but they are. They know how to do this shit. So this is the real question. See, if we say yeah, she's saying to herself, "Oh well, shit, I got a couple motherfucking dudes that she can get her rocks off with. She on some shit. She gonna say I do, and she gonna go fuck the other next dude. We know what it's about."
Brian, who hurt you? You can talk about it.
Damn.
No, and I'm opening my heart. What did she do? Because I think I see what Roland is. I see what everybody's saying. Let me be very fair. I see what everyone is saying. But I think my point to this is, why would you marry somebody you're not faithful to you?
Thank you.
Wait a minute. You talking about a woman or you talking about the dude?
And again, if faithfulness, if monogamy, if being monogamous is a criteria for you, meaning after you get married, you expect him to be, I consider dating the audition. So if you got other bitches while we dating, then there's no way I can be your wife because I prefer for my man to only be with me. Now, hey, whatever this nigga do on his, if he's cold enough to do it and had it from a woman, that's on him. But I guess what my advice to this lady is, sweetheart, if you're married to him and you're not sure whether or not he got bitches, that was you should have kind of been clear about what was going on before you married him. So after marriage, you still can't do anything about it because you didn't set the tone at the beginning.
All right, here goes the next one, Kat. This is from Thomas. Do all women cheat and cover it better, or is that just a myth?
No, all women don't cheat, but they definitely cover it better because we don't cheat for the same reason men do.
Okay, why do you cheat?
Why do women cheat? Most women cheat, and I can't say me personally, but most women cheat because they're dissatisfied, either with what that guy is doing or, you know, how he's treating her, but there's a level of dissatisfaction. Now, I know Sly and these 2018 women he be dating, they probably just got a whole bunch of niggas everywhere. But in real life,
men don't cheat because of the same reason.
You ain't got to roll your eyes at me, Kat, when you say that and shrug your shoulders. Women can be greedy too. Women greedy too, Kat.
Somebody hurt you, baby, and it's okay. This is an open forum, and you can talk to us.
Why you? It's just like I worked. It's like I worked. It's like I worked a bunch of jobs, Kat. I got experience. It's the same thing. I'm just telling you.
As a boss, I'm gonna look at your resume and say, why are you at so many jobs? Why can't you find consistency?
Hey, Joe, what did you ask Kat?
First of all, I quit those jobs.
Hold on.
Kat, I asked Kat, don't you think men cheat for the same reason?
No, I don't, but you're asking a woman, so I can't be factual about it.
So you don't think that men be dissatisfied with the relationship and not being treated right? And they go out there?
I think that because their sex organs are external.
You know it.
I think because their sex organs are external as versus women's, which are internal. I think because you're kicked out, you feel sometimes the need to stick it in something.
Okay, so when you at home and she's talking about her head hurt.
I see what you're saying. No, it's not sexual. And I will say this: most women don't cheat because of sexual dissatisfaction. It's not your sex. So no, that's why they can hide it better. See, men cheat for sex, and there are many. You know, you can find a trace of sex, but you can't find a trace of intimacy. And women cheat. They can cheat with text messages. Not really, though. Not really, because once you bust a nut, you can go take a shower. But once you bust a nut, you can take a shower and come home and go to sleep, and it's not a big deal. But many women internalize it.
I'm saying as far as the emotions go, if you come home and you can't tell that your woman treated you different or that the vibe ain't the same.
That's what he's saying. He's saying that women can cover theirs better.
Yeah.
Because again, with guys, it's more of a, I'm just hitting it. I was just fucking them girls. I was gonna get right back. I don't like
you can come home and tell that your significant other is treating you differently if you're a man and that's your woman.
But you can cheat on a woman and not treat her differently. You can love your wife sincerely and have a side chick.
I'm speaking to what you were saying with emotion. Like you can't tell that your wife or significant other is emotionally
like it's an emotional disconnect between y'all two.
I'm gonna tell you like this: most women have a dual thing where they're there, but they're not there, and a man's not. A lot of men, not all men, a lot of men can't pick that up because they're not looking for it. Generally, men, the way we move, we ain't really checking for all that shit anyway, and we probably doing our own thing anyway. So when she's
most men who are cheating don't think that their woman would cheat on them ever. They're confident
that's why she steps out.
Hey man, that shit a myth. If you want to know if your woman cheating, when she stop asking you and worrying about what the fuck you doing, then you know what time it is.
Exactly.
That's it.
But most men don't want to answer to that shit, so they actually happy.
But that's the final word, right?
You might be happy because you're doing your thing, but if you want to know if she's doing something, when she's not concerned about what the fuck you doing,
that is exactly. That's it. We can move on.
Final word. Go ahead, CV.
That's the final fucking word right there. You heard that, Thomas? When your woman stops worried about you, that means she going to somebody else.
When you can goddamn go and come how you please and she don't ask you like where the fuck you been, nigga, you in trouble.
She gone. Hey, what did Barkley say about Shaq? He said, "Yeah, you retired in 2007. You just kept playing in 2012." That's what your marriage is. Yeah. All right, here we go. This is the last one. This is anonymous cat. Because of financial hardships in our household, my husband suggested I become a surrogate because I can make up to $30,000 a baby. I can't imagine another life being inside me without becoming attached, and he doesn't understand because all he sees is money.
Whose man is this?
Mother to mother, would you ever consider this?
That's the first club out the bag. Bitch, put a baby in.
But I'm tripping on the 30,000. Wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like 30 to 50,000. Like it's more than that too, CZ.
Damn.
Well, first of all, he's a fucking sucker. That's why he's anonymous. Because any man looking for his woman to do anything, get a second job.
This is the woman.
This the woman, bro. This the woman. This the woman.
It's a woman. What's wrong with y'all tonight?
But Roman is exactly right. If your household is falling apart, you're gonna ask your woman.
No, she's saying this.
Yes,
no, she's saying it,
but that's what he asked.
Saying that her man told her to do something to make some money. I think that's a poor choice. And as a woman, and I'm not a man, so I can't say like a man should. I don't know what a man should do.
I'm gonna say it for you, Cap, when you get done.
Hey, did any of y'all listen to this damn question?
Yes.
It don't sound like it.
Read it again then. Because of financial hardship in our household, my husband suggested I become a surrogate. So basically, her husband suggested she carry some other couple's child in her body for 9 months and then give it away so they can get $30,000.
Yes, that's the key word right there. $30,000. I had no idea. Shit, we're gonna have to have a discussion. $30,000 for a baby.
I mean, that sounds great in theory, but again, you're not going to let this woman lay next to you, and like this is just kind of, it's scary to me that if she asked, and I'll answer her question. I'll stop. She asked, mother to mother, would you ever consider this? No, I don't consider my body a warehouse for babies to just be bred and sold. And I think this, to me, it's too close to like slavery. It's too close to like.
Wait, I gotta stop you there.
Like she asked me, baby, you can't stop.
Oh no, I can stop you. Because of what you said, your own words.
Personally, I could not, despite how much, because my children are invaluable. So 30,000 would not be enough for me.
This is not your child, though.
I'm producing healthy, great humans.
My child.
So I mean, I think whatever she wants to do, if that's what her and Bay is on, I think that it's interesting that she didn't tell us what he was willing to do for 30,000 first, especially because he put it on her. And again, like
He going to the couples classes with him.
I can tell you exactly what he's willing to do. He's willing to pimp his wife out for $30,000.
Exactly.
How's that? It's not like she getting fucked. It's just they put
Call it what you want, bro.
It's like
now,
rent a car.
Cat is
It's
the
like
same
rent a car.
person. Cat is the same person on our last episode was praising Joseph for accepting the quote unquote Virgin Mary's baby, but she talking
He
about
didn't get a $50,000 check from Jesus though. Like he got to raise that kid. Like he was there. He didn't get like a gift certificate. He had to be the father of that kid.
Yeah, bad example there, CB.
You almost was there. It didn't work out.
Swing and a miss, huh?
I'm just saying, are you willing, CB? You're willing to deal with your wife with pregnant hormones, swollen feet, cravings for someone else's baby for 9 months, not to mention whatever effects are left after she has the baby, saggy titties, wrinkled belly. You're willing to accept all that for $30,000?
And possible death.
Right, and not to mention health risks. After having the baby, she's gonna leak milk for a while because her body just gave birth. Not to mention the connection. You've been rubbing her belly.
It's $30,000, CB.
You've been having that good pregnancy sex, and now the baby.
30K, CB.
Right now.
That's minimum, CB. 30K.
30,000 in my fucking sleep.
30K, CB.
You got the floppy wife with no kid to show off. You got the floppy wife. She still got to take time off work. She still has to recover, so she needs 6 weeks with no dick. For a baby, you don't even
10K to get that snap. 10K to get that snap back. CB.
Now you only left with $20,000. She
That's
ate
minimum.
you out of
That's
$5,000.
that's
She
minimum,
ate about
CB.
$5,000 worth of your money already.
It go up to
Don't
about
listen to him.
Why y'all trying to
ain't got no kids.
a Sarah can get about $10,000 a month.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know why y'all trying to convince me.
I hope you guys know your sperm. You get paid for donating. You can pay for sperm. You give your sperm.
Hey, you know what? Pay a
I
lot.
think you got the game fucked up. We pimps up in this motherfucker.
Hey, anonymous.
CB trying to pimp out. CB wants to pimp out women who don't have babies.
It's rent a womb.
CB ain't said nothing about that.
I got the solution. I got the solution to her fucking problem. Anonymous.
You get a fucking divorce. What you need?
All you gotta do, Anonymous, is go back to your husband and tell that motherfucker that 30,000 ain't nothing. We could make 100K, 150K tomorrow. Gay porn, nigga. There you go.
Captain Save a Whole. Captain Save a Whole strikes
Everybody
again.
motherfucking
Captain
quiet
Save
now.
a Whole.
Okay,
Damn,
he can
bro.
do.
You trying to tell us?
Hey, man.
You trying to tell us something, bro?
He can do an insurance policy. Why don't he?
Why don't he? Booty for 150K.
That's why I ain't in the cave. It is exactly why I don't come on this podcast.
And you know what?
No slide.
Hey, CB, I understand why Ro don't give a fuck about the government.
CB, I want you to shut up.
He don't care about no business loan. That nigga got that slinging booty, goddamn, get that business.
What's wrong with Roland, man? Who invited this nigga in here anyway, man? You want more comment like that for getting fired?
Whose man's is
I'm not
this?
playing with you, man. This is why I don't. Why, man? You'll never come on the show. When I do, this is what I got to hear.
Cat, you see everybody shut the fuck up for like 5 seconds.
No, because I was thinking about it. Dude probably gonna be like, cool, then it's gonna be 180,000. We gonna get it.
Ain't nobody trying to hear that fucking conversation.
He gonna add that shit up.
I'm just saying. That's a great point. That when it came to his booty hole, nobody agreed to that. But all of a sudden, her vagina was open season.
Yes, was for rent. That wound was for rent.
I guess what he was trying to do was bring to your attention that if you aren't willing to have something come out of your body after growing there 9 months, why on earth would you ask your partner to do that?
Man, I don't give a fuck what he's trying to get at. Man. Hey, man, next question, man. Go ahead.
All I'm saying, bro, y'all can clown me all y'all want. Point in
I will.
That pays the lot, and that nigga ain't trying to do that shit.
Hold on, man. How you know how much it pay?
But I mean, he could get probably 100, depending on how much money they have. depending on where they are. He could fake his own death, do a fake life.
Next question, man.
There are so many other things besides the baby.
First of all you niggas that's into that porn shit, real talk, a lot of them top stars do underground porn shit on the side because the men in porn movies don't make a motherfucking thing.
But who looking at the man?
Sound like Ro want to do something strange for some change.
I ain't looking to do a motherfucking thing because I gets out here and work. I got 90 hours.
Ain't nobody looking at the man and goddamn porn.
You missing what I'm saying? Exactly. That's why they don't get paid for the movie.
I couldn't care less what the fuck they make.
Look, Cleese booty ass up.
What kind of investigative reporting you doing?
Please rhyme with grease, motherfucker.
Hey, listen, don't get mad at me because I know shit. All I'm saying is that
I ain't mad because you know shit.
Miss Anonymous, if you want to get out of your financial straits, offer up your man's booty.
All right. Enough of that. All right, that's enough.
Same way his wife did him.
Okay, that was, if you got more questions for Kat, that was the last of 2018. Send them in inside the cave podcast at gmail.com. Hey, now we didn't do feedback this week, but I do want to. I don't even know if I should say this guy's name. I want to know what y'all opinion is on this.
Never stopped you before.
Well, this guy, he sent this on Instagram. And he's a listener. He follows the show. I mean, great listener. I had no problem with it.
Oh, well, so you know his name is gonna get said. Then.
So he sends this DM to us, and he says, when you realize President Obama was not an African American, and I was about to respond, and I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. He says, this is the type of information that's spread on the internet. This is how Trump got elected. I want you guys to. I'm gonna read this to you. His father was from Kenyan. This is what he says.
I see that. Yeah.
And his mother was Caucasian. Mm-hmm. There's no drop of African American or ADOS, American descendant of slavery, or Black American blood in him whatsoever. Is this reason why some people believe he didn't fight hard enough for us? Because he was not one of us. We are still waiting for our first African American president or American descendant of slavery or Black American. I just want to ask a question to everyone on Inside the Cave. Where's Kenya at?
Africa.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh no, I ain't talked to her in a while. Ass belly.
No, remind me that. You can't say that. You can't say that. See?
Shots fired.
No trouble.
All right, but this is the type of information that gets spread on the internet.
That's ignorant to the motherfucker, man.
Motherfuckers want to divide us so much. The man, this is what he said. This is the reason why he said we cannot vote for Kamala Harris, because she's the same way as Obama. The man has Kenya. His man's father is from Kenya.
Well, can I ask you this, CB? Can I ask you this?
You're gonna ask it anyway.
Not to say that he's right, but I kind of see where his line of thought is coming from.
I bet you do.
Here's another thing for you. Okay, say hypothetically you have an individual who was raised in the suburbs. He's a Black American like this guy once, or whatever the fuck logic he's using, but the person was raised well-to-do, didn't have a struggle, so to speak, right? Went to an Ivy League school, went to Harvard, Yale.
Okay,
whatever.
come on, let's get to it now.
And now he's in position of power. Is there the same connection with someone from a challenged background? Is he going to have the same connection to that person to want to help them if he's not a caring person? You know what I mean? He's probably going to want to help the people that's on his level, so to speak. So if I come from a business owner background, I'm more connected to people who own business.
That's not the point of what he said. The man said in this meme and in his message that Barack Obama is not Black.
No. I said aside from that, I just missed that part.
Oh.
That's why I said. But the ending, you read everything, so I was addressing the ending part. What he said is that the reason why he didn't fight, quote, air quotes, fight for us. But I said, even with that same line of thinking, regardless if he's right or wrong, I'm saying, is it a possibility that black politicians don't necessarily don't make that same? I'm asking the question. I'm not trying to make the judgment. I'm asking you guys, do you feel if it's that possible that if I got raised in a well-to-do background, will I have the same connection as someone that comes from a challenged background?
I mean, no, we're not about to compare Barack Obama to Rachel Dolezal. We are having an argument, or we're having a discussion about whether
I'm in a regular black person
or not. But I think that's what he was saying. I see where you're going, but his point is, was he black enough? I don't get what he's talking about.
I don't get it either, Cat.
We already dismissed that. I'm asking a totally separate question.
No,
He's a clown.
I'm just sticking with this guy, and I don't want to put him out there because he's a good listener, and he always.
So nobody wants to answer my
No, nobody wants to answer your complicated.
No, nobody wants to talk to you today, Ron.
Nobody is answering your question because either way it goes, whether he's black and rich, or black or poor, or black and, handicapped, whether it's anything, this guy is challenging his blackness. Yeah. And I see where you're going with it, that if he came from a wealthier background, he may choose for wealthier causes. However, at the end of the day, we're not debating whether or not Barack Obama was black.
What exactly is black enough?
That's
the first goddamn place.
That's the shit that's the shit that pissed me off.
Well, the reason why people, never mind, people just don't get me. Never mind.
We get you, bro.
I agree. We agree.
Hour behind trying to answer that question.
I could have answered it real quick. It's in line with what the fuck I'm asking, but nobody wants to have that discussion. We already realized the writer enters is off. He's wrong.
Right.
But what a real question is, how do you challenge somebody's blackness? Well, unfortunately, the way black people, we always just like the statement, what's talking black? I don't talk black. If you're educated, you're talking white. That's the most asinine fucking statement ever. You mean to tell me black people can't speak proper English? That's only slighted for white people? So a white upbringing is being raised rich. So what happens is if you're raised well-to-do, then you somehow lose more credibility of being black. Meaning if you didn't grow up in the struggle, then you ain't one of us. That's why I asked the question. Aside from that dude's, crazy line of thought, I'm saying, but can someone put that on Obama? Saying because he wasn't.
I think it's personal. I grew up in K-Town and we all lived in the same neighborhood, yet they tended to call me white girl. It wasn't a thing of, oh, your diaspora is different from ours. You just look different. So, and you speak differently. It wasn't, it depends on, that question is kind of skewed because we do it sometimes, if somebody.
We do. That's why I'm asking the question, right?
No, but you know what Obama did? He didn't have no lavish upbringing. He came from hard times. But I do get what you're saying.
But I wasn't saying exclusively to him because he brought up Kamala Harris.
But you wouldn't be able to.
Already, Ro. If somebody grew up in the poverty and became president, they can't relate to people in business, or maybe can't relate to people in the suburbs because they raised in two different environments. Yeah, you understand that. If I'm raised in Pennsylvania, I'm raised in Chicago. That's two different environments and two different ways of thinking about certain things. That's just you from a different place. Yes, you can still have empathy and sympathy for people who aren't like you.
Mm-hmm. So then why is there this great disconnect with...
Because niggas is fucked up. That's why. Stop asking questions we all know the answer to. Niggas is fucked up. White people is fucked up.
I think that's a broad statement. That's the easy statement to make, but it has to...
honest.
It has to be deeper than that, though. Don't you think?
Yeah, we were all raised fucked up. We were all raised in a certain right. It's the same reason why I make good money and do good with my life, and if I walk down the street past a white person in a dark environment, they gonna kind of probably cross the street or clutch their purse. It's just the reality of it. I can make $400,000 a year, but if they see me, then they feel a certain type of way. More than like, I don't say about everybody. We can't put everybody in the same bucket. But we know the answers to all the shit that we ask. Everybody knows the answer already. Same thing with our kids. Same thing. We all know the answer. We know why people took their kids there. They was trying to hit a lick. Like, don't ask the question. You already know. We already know. We trying to make a come up. Dog said we pimped the kids. They pimped their kids. Yes. Sparkle said she knew what he was on. Still introduced him to her teenage niece.
Yes.
And then had the nerves to say, I can't be bought. No, you can't buy something that's already been sold. You sold yourself the minute you So you see what I'm saying? We already know the answer
That's
to
the
all
shit.
these questions we keep asking.
That's the shit I was talking about earlier, said.
Hey, clip that out, please. Hey, you gotta clip that out tonight. We need that up on the page tomorrow morning.
You can't sell something that's already sold.
It's sold.
What did Dog say earlier? What was Dog's line earlier? He said, if your wife, what did he say? What Dog say to the Cat's Corner?
Oh, if your wife don't give a fuck about your movements, nigga, she cheating.
Yes, you already know, right? Yeah.
Yeah, when she stopped checking on you.
Yeah, she gone. Good. We needed
that. Amen, brother. That'll preach by itself right there. Moving on.
Hey, ladies! It's time to tell the truth. Ladies, let's talk about it with Sly on Inside the Cave.
Where's the Breakfast Club located at?
New York.
New York, nigga.
All right, the Breakfast Club in New York. What part of New York? Anybody know?
New York
City, motherfucker. New York City side.
Okay, I need everybody in New York to let me know where the fuck the Soulja Boy caught that good shit at.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because I need some of that shit.
That motherfucker there.
That motherfucking high one day, because that nigga was on one.
He said he was on pain med. He said he was on pain med. Yeah, the accident or something, a car accident.
That motherfucker was putting on the Ritz, I heard.
What? Man, you gotta see that shit. That shit was funny as hell.
I'm worth $30 million.
He was more entertaining than Tekashi. And that motherfucker was entertaining.
And see, I think that's what his whole thing was. I gotta top this nigga.
Yeah, he did that.
He did.
He did that shit.
Yeah, that motherfucker swear he invented the whole rap game.
Well, he had me shook when he was like, who? Drake?
That nigga said,
baby Drake?
you said, hey, well, why did you think she was pregnant? Because I fucked the bitch. Nigga, I fell out.
Like you say, man, you can't make this shit up.
He said, I fucked the bitch.
And then he tried to say he got a better comeback than Meek Mill. I'm like, nigga, we didn't even know you was back.
Right, I didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.
Nigga went to jail 3 years ago, motherfucker. You still coming back from that?
Oh, man.
That shit was hilarious.
Dog, get your boy. That's country rap tune right there.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sly. What we talking about for Tell the Truth?
Tell the truth. Inside the podcast group. What's up, everybody? This first question is submitted by a listener, a caver, by Donna Pruitt.
Shout out to Donna.
Shout out to she been listening and she been wondering when we was gonna get back on. So it was only right to use this question coming out in the 2019 for her. So she wants to know. I had to change the question around because she had worded it as if she was reading it, as if she was asking it. So the question to the cave is, why is it that a male platonic friend treats a woman better than the male who claims to date her?
Because the platonic friend is trying to fuck her.
Oh my God.
I mean, that's all.
And Joe didn't have any dirt sheets today. Ain't that?
I mean, it's the truth. I mean, come on, Donna. Seriously. Ain't no such thing as a man that wants to be your friend. Right?
The same thing CB said, the nigga you dating already got the pussy.
Exactly.
Once he hit it, yeah, he treat you after he fuck you, Donna. Not Donna or whoever.
So there's not a possibility of just being a platonic friend with a female and not wanting to smash.
No,
because I ain't friends with no females that I ain't trying to fuck.
No, exactly.
Joe, you ain't fucking like that. You got plenty of platonic friends.
Y'all friends with Cat?
You gotta put
Cat know what's up.
That passcode.
What's up, Cat?
Hold on, time out. Now, when I said if we all went on a trip, and if somebody wasn't trying to smash Cat, there's something wrong. And now y'all want to try to say this shit.
Number first, and then it's on.
Shut up! It ain't the message, it's the messenger. You know that by now.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cat, what's your input?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to you.
I mean, I don't want to make men sound shallow, but I think that, you know, most men want, if they had an opportunity to, they would sleep with their friends. So, I mean, it doesn't, I feel like it sounds real personal. Like, who hurt you, baby? Like, how your man treats you should not even be in the same comparison to what your male friends are doing anyway. Like, you
I got a question.
Go ahead, Sid.
Now, I'm this all way outside all that. This is something I seen on Twitter. I know how I feel about it, but let me ask this question: would you rather have an 850 credit score or 600,000 cash?
Well, 600,000 what?
Cash.
That's the dumbest fucking question known to man. If anybody say 800 credit score, I'm beating you between your fucking legs with barbed wire.
It was an 850, bro. It's an 850 credit score.
I don't give a fuck if it
make
was
you think twice about it, don't it? Make you think twice about it. Because with an 850 credit score, you can go get a loan for $1 million.
But you gotta pay it back,
right?
Dumbass.
You gotta pay it back. Because
y'all sound listen.
File bankruptcy.
This shit does so fucking much that we value fucking credit over money. Yep. That's the dumbest fucking question ever. Are you serious?
The motherfucker was like, I know what my answer be. I'm gonna see what niggas' heads at. I'm thinking to myself, your head ain't on $600,000 cash. You shouldn't have a fucking head on your shoulder.
Oh, well, I would take the cash. My credit score's still good.
That's what I can understand. I'm like, first of all, if you take
you can drop my credit score below 500, motherfucker. Give me that.
Thank you. I'm like, okay, think about it. Most people in America, your biggest debt is your house. Now, unless you stand in $1 million home, you good. And maybe you might got a few credit cards and a car. You should be able to pay all that shit off with about $250, $300.
Yeah, if you go get the $1 million loan, like Sly was saying, then file bankruptcy.
No, bankruptcy don't work like it used to, brother. And it damn sure don't work for blacks like that.
I just found one. I filed too.
Damn. Total debt clear?
Yep.
Which chapter?
The final chapter, R.Kelly, motherfucker. That's the chapter.
Chapter 7 or 11? Chapter 7 or 11?
7.
Get the fuck out of here. You ain't got to pay that shit back?
Nope. Pay what back?
Man, I tried to file that shit. I called the lawyer back. I said, man, give me my fucking money back.
Bro, next time you need a lawyer, I'll send you mine. I'll give you my lawyer number.
I don't want Tiffany's number. Thank you. It's okay. I'll pay.
Hey, she undefeated. She's undefeated. Walk in there with
you don't go to court.
Hey, walk in there with Jordan's on and undefeated, baby. I ain't got to pay it back, and Joe don't need it.
Man, shit. She don't even get past booking. She don't even get past booking. Stop it.
Thank you.
Hey, so the other question is, and this it's for the ladies, but it's gonna go toward the men because I definitely can answer this question. Have you ever been introduced to somebody that you have already had sex with? Have you ever been introduced to someone, before you guys were married, or maybe after you got married? Have you ever been reintroduced to a person by a friend?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
That you already had sex with?
Nah, I ain't never had them kind of problems. Anybody had them kind of problems?
No, sir.
That shit happened to me.
You ain't even fucking, nigga. Shut up.
Hold on, Sad. You don't know this nigga flies coastal. He's the shit.
Look, man. Let's talk about it. Let's tell the truth.
Let's talk about it.
Man.
He just came back from a trip, dropping off some dick.
Man, he ain't dropped off shit. He's like 6 years old with no kids. Why ain't nobody gonna let you nut in the rock? Why you can't nobody?
Hey, I aim for the head, Sid. I aim for the head.
Ain't nobody let slap last.
I aim for the head, Sid. You the one be misfiring. That's why you got baby strollers and shit.
Hey, sad. I used to say that all the time. I used to be like, if I meet somebody, listen, if I meet a motherfucker over 30 without no kids, I'm like, damn, nigga, a bitch ain't tie you this, a bitch
ain't nobody letting you slap nothing wrong.
I'm trying to get. Anyway, here's my story real quick. Yeah,
Slide run up on the bitch talking about I got the Johnson baby powder and the water. Come on, look at that.
Hey, that shit work too, Sid.
Hold on, come on. You walk around with an 8-4 flying jet setting. Niggas shooting blanks. That's what's wrong, Sad.
Yeah, shit hitting the backboard.
Thank you for listening to Inside the Cave. Get the latest Cave Crush and Inside the Cave gear at cavecrushshop.com. Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and cave crushes. Inside the Cave. Inside the Cave. 3 Lee Films.
You did say you wanted to be in, right?